What's up, everybody? I got a trivia question for you right off the top.
Let's hear it.
We talk about the Pedway System. How long and how big is the Pedway System?
50 miles.
No, don't guess yet. Don't guess yet. We gotta wait.
Bad.
We gotta wait.
We gotta do the intro.
Yeah, we're gonna do the intro. But first, if you could follow us on social media at 77 Flavor Shy.
Yep.
All social media.
Yep.
We keep it simple for you. And then, if you could go ahead and like this video, just go ahead and like this video, subscribe to it.
Things.
You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna be good. But until then,
otherwise we'll find you.
Oh shit, we on these streets. 77 Flavors in the streets. Let's get it.
Yo.
Welcome back to another dope episode, 77 Flavors in Chicago. Dario.
Sarah.
Happy to have you back here on another journey. On another journey. And let me tell you.
Underground journey.
It is a journey. If you've never been on the Pedway System, it is the weirdest, most fun, most interesting thing that you've ever seen.
Yeah, I've never experienced anything like it.
This I don't think nobody ever will. Trivia question, to repeat it for those again, if you fast forward at 15 seconds.
Rude.
Yeah, let's talk about the trivia question.
Let's.
How large is Chicago's Pedway System? And long. Any guesses?
20 miles, 15 miles. 10 miles?
Ooh, you're getting warmer.
7.
Nah. It is 5 miles in total distance, and it spans 40 blocks. Yeah, pretty large system that's created here. Now, here's some fun history about it, though.
Okay.
It was created in 1951 when the first tunnel between the Dearborn, Milwaukee, and State Street tunnel was finished. Right.
Okay.
The train stations are right there.
Red and the blue line.
Yeah, red and blue. Right. Today's red and blue. And when it was finished, funny enough, it actually wasn't a part of Chicago's plan.
Oh.
No, it wasn't part of Chicago's plan.
Sense.
Check this out, because it's the weirdest thing. And as we go along, we're gonna talk to some people, talk to a person who's gonna tell you more about it and confirm what we're about to say. But this wasn't a part of Chicago's plan until 1968.
Oh wow! So they started it and it wasn't even part of the plan.
It wasn't part of the plan, and so what happened was the Chicago Central Area Transit Plan was started in 1968, and what that was a plan to kind of make Chicago's transit better, of course, right? And what happened was, in that plan, ultimately, and this was a shocker to me, the elevated L was about to be taken away.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, the plan was to take the loop away.
Wow. And at that point, the L was already the L. Right?
Yeah, the L was the L. Yeah, it had been the L for 70 years.
Right.
At this point. So it was about to be taken away, which is absolutely insane. The people were like, no, we want to keep the L, because nobody had seen an elevated L like that. To the fact that the elevated L is actually eligible to be part of the National Historic Places in America. Yeah, that's how dope the really L is. Yeah, so they were about to take that away. But then people were like, well, we got this tunnel system.
Right.
We should keep the tunnel system. And long story short, we kept the tunnel system. We called it the Chicago Pedway, short for pedestrian walkway. And this is us telling you about what the Pedway System is. Shall we continue? Let's continue.
We shall.
Let's go. All right, so check it out. We are underneath Millenium Park right now, believe it or not. We made our way from the Chicago Cultural Center all the way down to it's not that far. It's across the street. It's across the street, but we
under the ground.
Yeah, under the ground. I guess we should have paid attention to the line. That's part of the issue. One thing I do want to say, there was another plan, the 1973 plan, Chicago 21 plan, which revamped even more area planning. Fun fact, did you know that Chicago's population topped out at 3.6 million people?
Wow, so I did not know that.
Yeah, so the 60s saw a decline in population, right? And which is crazy, the transit system, they were revamping all this kind of stuff. Chicago also saw a decline from that, and that's where it landed us at the 2.7 that we're at right now. However, there were 2 train stations a part of that 1968 plan that were revamped.
Okay.
One was the Quincy.
Yeah,
the Quincy.
That's a cool one.
Yeah, they revamped it back to
its original.
The original 1897 look. And then the other one, was the Adams and Wabash station, which is like the OG,
right.
1896. They revamped those too.
Yeah.
Those are just some fun facts I want to tell you. But we found somebody that can talk about the quirkiness and the weirdness of this whole thing.
Of the entire Pedway system.
Yeah, we found her. We're going to go back to the Cultural Center and we're going to talk to her. Let's go. Elizabeth Blasius. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Well, we had to. I told you before with the cameras off that you were everywhere. We do research, and you were the only person to pop up all the time.
Wonderful. Wow. Whenever there's a cool project or something weird in the built environment or something interesting that's historic, it's Blasius.
Yeah.
Here I am. Yeah.
There you go.
Which is true. We're not joking. Look it up. I'll have an article on the screen.
Links.
Yeah, I have it on the screen. But we talk about the Pedway system. We talk about what you do, and the reason why you did pop up so much is because you talk about architecture. You want to talk about that a little bit?
My architecture?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
what you do in general. Yeah, what you do. Yeah.
I am the co-founder of a firm called Preservation Futures. I'm an architectural historian and I'm a writer. We, as Preservation Futures, my business partner and I, Jonathan Solomon, do historic research. We do context statements, design, sort of anything that relates to historic buildings, particularly if those historic buildings have unique threats because they are, maybe they've flown under the radar in terms of traditional historic preservation practice or traditional architecture practice, or they're kind of on the new end. So buildings from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the stuff that's sort of new, that's kind of coming into its own as historic.
The people are often offended when you say vintage and it's from 95. That is
oh, absolutely.
mind-blowing to
absolutely.
me.
I saw on Twitter that someone had announced today that people born in 2002 can drink, and it's
that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. I need to think about
disrespectful.
That they grew up.
How dare they?
That's pretty crazy. What's the craziest, the best, or the coolest piece that you worked on?
Asking someone who's your favorite child and a chef what's your favorite recipe.
What's your favorite recipe?
She didn't build the buildings though.
What's your favorite food?
Yeah.
Ooh, everything that we did with the Thompson Center, everything that I've written about the Thompson Center, every sort of expression of its value, whether it's its architectural value or its historical value or its social value, has really meant a lot to me. But I also feel like it's kind of filled a little bit of a need in terms of really getting the public to understand why places are important. So definitely the Thompson Center. And I think that, we've seen the fruits of that work. So Google has purchased the Thompson Center. There's no guarantee that the things that we like about the Thompson Center, like the food court, the Sbarro, are going to continue within this next iteration. But at least we've laid the groundwork for adaptive reuse. And the great thing about adaptive reuse is that you kind of only have to prove that a building can be another thing once, and then it can be as many things.
Oh wow! So it's
endless.
So it doesn't have to go through that process again. It just it checked out. Yeah.
It's already been proven. So we got unfortunately kicked out of the mall attached to the Pedway, and here we are. Here we are in the Cultural Center, and the Cultural Center was once the Chicago Public Library. So Chicago half of it was the Chicago Public Library, and the other half of it was the meeting rooms for an organization called the Grand Army of the Republic, which were a group of Union. It kind of sounds a little threatening. A group of Union soldiers, Union veterans that would come together sort of regularly to talk about the good old days of war or whatever.
1948,
So by the 1950s, they had all
Died.
died.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
could say died.
here's this whole
Right.
like half of the building that is not really being used for its original purpose, and then the library, this huge library with way too much space. So the city takes a look at the building with the help of Maggie Daly, who really advocated strongly for its preservation, and just basically said this can be something else. So here we are in the cultural center.
It's a beautiful building. It's a very beautiful building.
The first thing that I did out of grad school was I photographed the restoration of the Preston Bradley Hall Tiffany Dome. So it's the world's largest work of Louis Comfort Tiffany. It's right upstairs, just right upstairs to the left. And my job for the Department of Cultural Affairs was just to photograph the work kind of on a daily basis. So, when things changed, when those stained glass panels were pulled out, I photographed the removal and then the restoration, and then when they were reinstalled, I photographed that too. So it was really fun to sort of see a preservation project from the sort of beginning, the development of it, all the way through to its completion, which took about 9 months. So it was really, it was like, I don't have any children, don't want any. It was the beginning, like, wow, here.
Don't have children. That's
Don't have children.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's the message.
Cut it in the wrap. What is the Pedway System? And can anybody tell us what the Pedway System is?
The Pedway System is an informal collection of thoroughfares and tunnels that goes through Chicago. Some go through public space, some go through private space. So it's like this interconnected system of way to get around the loop. It's not fully sort of complete, so you can't really get from one end of the loop to the other without kind of going above or maybe being a little confused. But it's a type of space in Chicago. It's a type of urban space that I think we're very grateful to have, especially it's Pedway season. It's like it's cold outside. You don't want to be out in the snow and in the rain and in the
not even the heat, really.
No, really. And there's restaurants in the Pedway.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say
there's a bar.
Like, you can shop.
Yeah, you can shop. There's M Bar. There's a Sbarro, which big.
There's a sushi place.
There's a sushi place. Yeah.
There's shoe shine place. There's cleaners. There's drugstore. Like there's everything you really need.
Barber
down
shops.
there.
Anything that you need. Yeah.
Everything's down there.
It was started as a thoroughfare between the blue line and the red line. So that's the sort of first, the first segment of the Pedway was that section to connect the both of those transit lines.
Okay.
So.
And the crazy part is we were at Block 37 where we got kicked out, and that's where we were right where it started.
I was gonna say because one end was the red line and then the other end was the blue line.
Yeah.
That's a newer part. But there's an older part. You might have gone through it if you take the red line to the blue line, or the blue line to the red line.
Yeah.
There's that big tunnel.
Yes.
That's got the tiled ceiling.
Yeah.
So it goes from like those sort of blue hatch
Yeah.
tiles to the red hatch tiles.
Yeah.
That's the first segment of the Pedway.
Okay. All right. See, that's why we do this, to learn this.
And then it started, what, 1951?
1951.
And it's technically still not complete all the way, right? You would say, like, you think there's definitely it's not possibly being worked on or will continue to be worked on?
Oh yeah, and it absolutely should be. It absolutely should be, especially as we're kind of returning to working in the loop, and there's an emphasis in now with the LaSalle Street Reimagine plan, which is sort of the Thompson Center rehabilitation and adaptive reuse as a catalyst of figuring out how to reuse some older buildings in the loop for housing. That the Pedway can very much be a part of a 24-hour or a 365 neighborhoods.
Yeah. Now there's only three residential buildings that are connected to it, right? Heritage, Millenium. I forgot the other one's a Millennium also, and then Aqua.
I forgot that. Those are the only.
Those are the only two that you remember. there's two Millenniums, and then there's the Aqua, which is newer.
The Aqua's connected.
Yeah, the Aqua's connected. Wow. That was like the residents kind of like put up a stink about that a little bit because they were like, well, how come you aren't connecting us? You know what I mean, right? And I don't know if I remember that, but I thought I read that probably from your article.
Yeah.
What do you want to see from the Pedway system?
I would love to see the Pedway system extended and some of the hours, because a lot of the Pedway system opens at 7 and then closes at 5 or closes at
Business hour downtown loop.
And you know,
That's crazy.
It is crazy. Nobody, especially people who work, you know, for themselves, it's like, I'm not going into the office at 9 and going home at 5. And you know, the majority, I think, of Chicagoans, you know, now are sort of working their own hours, and you know, as downtown is sort of becoming revitalized, I think the Pedway would be a really great, a really great amenity that could be. It's already a great amenity, but it could be an amenity that would be greatly improved by, you know, more mileage, better signage, maybe improved lighting, maybe some.
Well, we know you now, so
Excellent.
so we will just keep our contact ready because
Gonna block our emails.
Y'all. We giving number. Forget that.
Well, I mean, you know, I'm also like, I cook like crap, so you know, please, I need some help there. Sure. Yeah.
That's all her. That's all her.
Excellent.
Elizabeth, thank you for
you
being
so
on there.
much.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That was the Pedway.
That was the Pedway. Dope conversation with Elizabeth.
We learned so much.
Yeah, learned a lot. The cool thing about the Pedway is that it's got everything down there.
Yeah.
It's got, you know, train access.
You can shop, you can eat.
Everything is down there in the Pedway. The whole purpose of it, keep people off the street during the cold time.
When it's cold.
When it's hot.
Right.
When it's hot. Hell, when it's crowded out there. You know what I mean? Like, so that's a cool thing.
Yeah.
The stained glass Tiffany is down there. A lot of cool stuff in the Pedway system. But I'm hungry.
I'm starving.
You know what the beauty thing is about this podcast?
We can go wherever we want.
We can just dip.
So we're actually going to try a style of food that we haven't had before. We can't wait for you to see it.
Let's go. We're gonna show you where we're going. Let's get it. Let's go. Yo, Toys R Us? Slow down.
Welcome to the food portion. So we are at a hot pot place, and I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, it's a lot going on right now.
I've never had a hot pot experience.
Well, we in Chinatown.
We are in Chinatown, and this place was recommended by our friend Carla, and it's her favorite, and she said it's the best one, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, there's a lot going on right now. Like, there's a lot
going on. It's Shoo Loong Kan, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I hope. But yeah, let's look what we got. So first you order your broth. So we got a split broth. We got 2 different broths. One spicy, one tomato. We got egg fried rice, some homemade noodles. We got spicy beef, prawns, and some just regular beef. So I think
I can't use. I'm horrible.
you can use your little. Pass me a bowl because we need bowls.
Yeah, I'm trash at this whole experience. Let me tell you.
I don't know where.
It's so much going on. I don't even know where to
And it's our
begin.
first experience. I'm not comfortable when I don't know what to do with the food that is in front of me.
I'm not comfortable when I got these chopsticks in my hand. I don't know what's going on.
So I dip this in here.
Is that what you do?
Shit, it's in there now. It's gone.
It's gone. It's gone.
It's gone. God got it.
I will say, so we had chicken at the
Pre-made station.
Yeah, the pre-made station. I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Why?
I don't know, but we had like the appetizer, so to say.
Yeah.
And I mixed mine. You can mix it any kind of way you want. They got all the spices, all the sauces that you want. You pick your protein out. Let me tell you, I must have mixed mine so hot. I got soy sauce. I got the chili. I got
You Thai chili. That's what made it really hot.
chili. I got sesame seed in there. I'm wildin'.
You are wild. That Thai chili is spicy.
Yeah. This is, if you are looking for an experience, this is definitely it. Like, this is definitely the experience that you're gonna get. Like, it's a different
It also
experience.
has Wagyu, so like you can get a fancy experience.
Yeah, the whole thing was way more elaborate than
Than I thought.
than, you know.
So
Yeah, me too. I'm excited though. Like, I'm glad to do this.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've had food that I don't know what to do with.
This is crazy. Do you cook the shrimp?
Yeah, of course.
Listen, you cook everything here. And the reason why I asked the question because I'm not a cook. I'm nervous.
This is news to me.
Let me try this fried rice here.
Oh yeah, let's try that.
Oh yeah.
That's one thing we know.
Oh man. Oh, that's very good. Now that we had our waiter help us out, let's try it out. You're not talking about the spicy. It was in there 15 seconds and it's stuff.
And we got the least spicy one. We got the mild.
Yeah. This is fantastic.
Yeah, that is fire.
That is very good. Wow, that is good.
I'm gonna take a little bit of these noodles and then you can have some.
Let's see noodles over here. Noodles and noodles.
Wow, that is good.
Yeah. I'm really struggling.
Thank you, Carla, for the recommendation.
Yeah. I'm really struggling with this.
Yeah. You want spicy or non-spicy shrimp? Hurry.
Spicy. Oh man. Well, hot pot is fantastic.
We're gonna go focus.
Yeah, we're gonna focus on getting this stuff into our stomachs and not all over the table.
Yeah, buddy.
So, on that note, man, look, check it out.
Check them out.
We're gonna see you next week, and more food, more history.
More food, more history.
We about to eat our food.
Shenanigans.
History of more shenanigans. 77 flavors. We out. This is out of control.
It is out of control.
All right.
What's going on, everybody?
What's cracking? What's cracking? Yo, we out here. Start this shit over, man.
Okay.
All right, here you go.
There you go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another dope episode, 77 Flavors of Chicago.
I'm Sarah.
Today's trivia question.
Yeah.
Today's trivia question is
Hit me with it.
it's gonna be kind of hard. She said, "Stop being goofy." All right. How many?
Right.
How long? Okay. All right, let's start off for real. For real this time. No. What's up, everybody?